All right, so we're back with another deep dive.
Yeah.
And this time, as you requested, we're going to be taking a look at Midnight Whispers.
Midnight Whispers, yes.
It's a fictional horror anthology podcast, which I'm sure a lot of you out there are familiar with, but for those of you who aren't, each episode is like a standalone story.
Right, a different spooky tale.
Yeah, and you specifically requested that we dive into the story of Evelyn Carter.
Oh, yeah.
And the house on Hollow Creek Road. So
really stuck with you.
It really did, yeah.
It's a good one.
It's a
classic haunted house, but with some interesting twists.
Exactly. It's
what really stood out to you about it?
Well, I mean, for me, it was just the ending. It's like I'm still not sure.
Yeah.
Like what to believe,
Right.
Was it real or was it all in her head?
Well, that's the thing about Midnight Whispers. I think they do such a good job. And this story, particularly starting off with her seeking refuge in this abandoned house. Yeah.
Like almost like she's trying to escape something.
Yeah, she's going there for a fresh start.
Right, exactly. And she's skeptical too.
Oh, totally, yeah.
Which I think makes it even creepier.
Yeah, you're kind of like...
You're like, oh, it's fine. It's fine.
Yeah, you're with her.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, this is fine. She's just being silly.
And then the whispers start.
Yeah, the whispers.
Like at first it's subtle.
Real subtle.
Just like the wind or something.
Yeah.
And then they just slowly get more and more.
And the sound design,
oh, the sound design is incredible.
It's so good.
Like you feel like you're right there with her.
Oh, yeah.
And you're just like waiting for the other shoe to drop.
And then there's that detail about the phone.
Oh my God, the phone.
With the dead battery.
Like she's completely isolated.
Totally isolated, can't call for help.
Nope.
You're just stuck there with her.
Classic horror trope, but it works so well.
It's so good.
It just taps into that primal fear, Yeah. Of being totally alone and vulnerable.
And then bam.
Footsteps.
And that voice.
Oh God.
Let me in.
I jumped the first time I heard that.
Me too.
Oh my God.
It's so simple, but it's so effective.
Chilling.
And it's up to that point, it's been all psychological,
Yeah, it's all atmosphere and spooky vibe.
Exactly. And then it shifts.
Yeah.
You're confronted with a real threat.
And then she runs
into the night.
And that's it.
That's it.
It just ends.
And she's found later.
Yeah. Totally traumatized.
Yeah.
Can't speak.
Can't explain what happened.
So what was it?
What was it?
Was it real? Was it in her head?
Right.
We don't know.
We don't know. And I think that's why this show is so popular.
Oh, for sure.
It's it's not just jump scares.
No.
It's they really get into your head.
It's psychological.
Yeah, they make you question what's real.
Yeah.
What's imagined.
And it reminds me of that other story from Midnight Whispers. The one with the lighthouse keeper?
Oh, yeah.
Very similar vibe.
Totally, isolation, reality versus perception.
Yeah.
They use these familiar horror tropes, but they add this layer of depth to it. You're never quite sure what's going on.
And that's what keeps you coming back for more.
Exactly.
So I guess just to wrap up, Midnight Whispers. They're really good at what they do.
Mm-hmm.
They craft these suspenseful, psychologically driven horror story.
Oh, the sound design is so good. The
pacing.
The way they build tension.
Keeps you on the edge of your seat.
Oh, yeah.
And they always leave you with these questions, these open endings.
You got to use your imagination.
Yeah, and I think that's a big part of what makes it so effective.
Absolutely.
So now here's a question for you listening at home.
Okay.
What do you think happened to Evelyn?
Yeah.
Was it real or was it all in her mind?
Let us know your theories.
Let us know. And if you haven't already, go check out Midnight Whispers.
So many good stories.
There's a whole world of creepy tales just waiting to be discovered.
Definitely worth a listen.
So we'll catch you next time on another deep dive.
See ya.
Bye.
Bye.